This week's portion, Terumah, begins a series of four and a half portions that focus entirely on the construction, design, and implementation of the Mishkan, the portable sanctuary, and also the vestments that are to be worn by the Kohanim, by the priests, when they work and serve in the sanctuary itself. And so what we have in progression of the Torah readings these past few weeks is the incredible and awesome spiritual experience that the people of Israel had at Mount Sinai in hearing God speak to them and hearing the Ten Commandments. And then Moses teaching not just the Ten Commandments but the entire Torah that he received at Mount Sinai to the people, and with highlighting the laws that make for a just society in last week's portion, Mishpatim. And now a series of portions that will conclude the book of Exodus, focused on first two portions in which Moses commands the people on how to build the Mishkan and design the vestments, and the last two portions of Exodus in how the Israelites followed through. And so the obvious question that we have to ask, and what we learn from over four portions that will be focused on the Mishkan versus only one portion about the laws to make a just society and half a portion about the Ten Commandments, why is the Torah seemingly skewed towards the worship service in the Mishkan versus the laws regarding how we should be good people? It seems obvious to us then from the Torah that the emphasis is on, when we think about our relationship to God, that the emphasis should be on worship, and that what we do outside of the synagogue or outside of the Mishkan is secondary. And the rabbis had a tremendous debate about that within rabbinic literature, because clearly the focus in the Torah is on the temple, but when the rabbis were teaching, the temple was destroyed. So how could they reinvent Judaism without a temple, in light of the fact that the Torah is temple, sacrifice, worship based? And so the rabbis had to say that, and find references in other places in the Bible that suggest that God really prefers acts of compassion over the worship service itself, and that through acts of compassion, and by quoting the prophet Micah, what does God want of us if not to be good and to walk in God's ways, that these are statements that the rabbis take to say that even though the focus in the Torah seems to be on worship, there are elements of that worship and the devotion that we spend and the time we take on worship that needs to be spread out from the synagogue to everything we do in our life. Just as the ark, the rabbis said, was designed with gold plate on the outside and on the inside, so too we need to be gold-plated, perfect, pure, as best as possible, as precious as possible, both on the inside and the outside. Shabbat Shalom.